morning, dear children. How are you all today? Are you enjoying your holidays or are you bored of the quarantine? These are the tough times, but we have to rely on our teams, on our government, on our doctors, and on our part, we should be doing all our work that has been given to us. Still, children, I would like to say that we are very lucky that we have a roof over our head, we have a food on our plate, and everything is easily available to us. Only our parents are doing their bit, and we are just doing our studies and doing our work. But children, there are lots and lots of children out there who have no easy access to food or money or to education, and they have to earn their livelihood for various reasons. Some of them run away from their house due to the harsh realities of the life. They do not have enough food at home. Their parents may be abusive. So today we're going to study about a small boy, Velu, who has undergone these kind of circumstances and how he struggles hard for his life to get a small amount of food. And we should be thankful to God and to our parents for giving us all the amenities available. There are many reasons why children have to work. Some help their family to make a livelihood. Others who run away from unhappy homes need to support themselves. Children who have to work can't go to school and play like other children of their age. Velu, an 11-year-old boy, runs away from home. He wanders around for hours before getting on a train to Chennai without a ticket. Tired and hungry, he doesn't know where to go when a stranger at the station shouts a word of welcome. Now, the story begins when Velu reaches Chennai via Kanyakumari Express, and how does he reaches there and what happens in the station. First, we'll study this in the first chapter. When the Kanyakumari Express pulled in at Chennai Central, it took Velu some time to get off. When he finally stood on the platform, his legs felt wobbly as if he was still on a moving train. "Oi, out of the way!" A porter went by with a loaded trolley. Velu jumped aside. He sat on a bench on the platform, putting his small bundle down. In all his 11 years, he had never seen so many people except once a year at the fair in his village. People walked by, bumping into him with their suitcases. A voice announced something on a loudspeaker. Near him, a group of people sat on their luggage, looking at a TV hanging from the roof. The noise was terrible. Velu put his head down on his knees, feeling miserable and exhausted. He had run away from his village 2 days ago. For 2 days he had eaten nothing but some peanuts and a piece of jaggery. In his bundle he carried a shirt, a towel and a comb. He had walked for most of the first day to Kannur and then got on the train to Chennai. Velu had no money for a ticket, but luckily the ticket collector didn't come to the unreserved compartment. He had tried to sleep on the floor near the door. A group of men next to him had played cards and shouted all night. "Hey, what's new to town, huh?" called out a rough voice. Velu opened his eyes. There were a lot of people standing around, but nobody was looking at him. "Hey, hey!" He turned around. Behind him was a girl around his own age. wearing a long banyan that came down to her knees. Her hair was stiff and brownish, and she had a huge sack on one shoulder. She was picking up dirty plastic cups from the floor and stuffing them into her sack. Why is she calling me? Thought Velu. And why is a girl wearing a banyan? No need to stare stupidly. What's your name? Velu, muttered Velu, looking away. So, Mr. Velu, said the girl, looking at his bundle. Run away from home? Velu didn't answer. He didn't want to tell some strange girl what he had done. He had run away because he couldn't stand his father beating for one more day. His father would snatch away all the money Velu and his sisters earned and spend it on drink. Don't think I don't know. This place is full of children like you. So what are you doing to do here? Become rich? She sat down next to him. Velu shifted away slightly. He felt hunger pinching him and pressed his stomach with a grimace. Hungry? Asked the girl. You won't get food by sitting here glumly, making faces. I can find some if you want. She picked up her sack and started to walk away. Velu stayed on the bench. What should he do? Should he follow this girl? Where was she going to take him? She was disappearing into the crowd, so he had to make up his mind quickly. All right, he decided. Anyway, I have no idea where to go. He jumped up and ran after her. She wasn't even looking back to see where he was. Good morning, dear children. How are you all today? Are you enjoying your holidays? Or okay, children, up to here we have come to know about a young boy, Velu, who is 11 years old. He has come to Chennai by Kanyakumari Express. He has to walk long way through Kannur because he has no money to spend. He has run away from his house, away from the beating of his father, who is a drunkard, and he snatches away all the money they earn, that is he and his sisters. On the station, he sees lot of people walking here and there. He is very hungry. Then a voice calls him. A girl of her own age is standing behind him, and by her face and by the looks, she makes out very cleverly that he is hungry and he has run from his house. She offers to come him behind her and so that he can have some food. Now, Velu has to decide whether he wants to follow her or not. And in a glimpse, he decides to follow the girl. He caught up with the girl as she was leaving the station. When they got to the road, Velu found that the vehicles kept coming and never stopped for anyone. Smoke and dust flew at him from all sides, making his head spin. They had to wait for a long time before they could find a gap to run through. Velu kept hesitating and the girl finally dragged him to the other side. What do you think you are doing? Grazing cows? If you stand around in the middle of the road like that, you will be chutney. Velu's heart was still beating fast. He looked back at Central Station and the traffic speeding by. How had they managed to come through that? They walked along the side of the road under some huge signboards. Velu looked up at the pictures. Banyans, car tires, pens, a woman holding a box. The writing was all in English, so he didn't know what it meant. The girl turned onto a wide bridge and walked up. Velu stopped and peeped over the railing. Under him, the road ran into the city. In the distance, he could see huge buildings and towers and more roads. See that big building with the wall around it? If you are not careful, you will soon be counting bars there. The girl grinned and pointed at the huge building. Velu squinted and read the Tamil sign, Central Jail. Why? I haven't done anything wrong. You don't have to do anything. Just don't get caught. That's all. What does she mean? Velu wondered. Meanwhile, the girl was already heading down the bridge with a sack on her shoulder. What was in it? He had seen her putting plastic cups into it at the station. What are you carrying in that bag? Things, bottles, paper. Velu wondered what she was doing with them, but he felt shy to ask any more questions. It was still morning, but the sun blasted down on the tar and Velu's bare feet burned. It was not like walking on a mud road. He was soaked with sweat. He tried hard to walk in the shade and keep up with the girl at the same time. She walked really fast. How far away was the food? After almost an hour of walking, they stopped in front of a big building. Sri Raj Kalyana Mandapam, read Velu slowly. A sign with letters made of flowers said, Groom, J.V. Vinayagan, Bride, Rani. Velu stared at the big cars parked outside. One of the cars had a flower garland and roses taped onto it. The girl looked around, pulled one off quickly, and stuck it in her hair. Come on, she said. Are we going to eat here? Asked Velu, looking at the huge hall and the people inside. Hopes, said the girl, shaking her thumb under his nose. She led him behind the hall. There was a big garbage bin overflowing with rubbish. Two goats were standing on the pile, fighting for a banana leaf. A cloud of flies buzzed around their legs. There was a rotten smell in the air. The girl picked up a squashy banana and held it out to Velu. Here's your food. Velu was shocked. Are we going to eat their leftovers? Shay, what do you think I am? A dog? I only take untouched food. Here's some more. Catch. She threw him a vada. Velu looked at it with distaste. Come on, hero, eat it. You think I like it? I told you I'll find you something to eat. Don't think I have money to buy food for you. You'd better eat what you get until you have your own money. Velu hesitated, but his stomach squeezed him again. He gulped down the banana and vada. His stomach felt way better immediately. He could have eaten at least 10 times more, but the girl could find only one more banana, which she ate herself. It's too early. They've only eaten tiffin. If you are still hungry, you'll have to wait for them to finish lunch. You can wait if you want. I have to work. I am going. She picked up a couple of bottles from the heap and threw it into her sack. Then she walked off. Velu panicked. He realized that if the girl left him, he had no idea where he was and what to do. It was better to stick to her. She seemed to know her way around. He ran after her again. Hey, he called. He didn't even know the girl's name. Hey, what's your name? He asked, hurrying behind her. She stopped and turned around. Oh ho, so you have been following me around without even knowing my name. Jaya, I'm not following you. What then? Who got you food? Can I come with you? Where are you going? Come if you want. This bag is full. I have to go to home to get another one. Up to now, we have seen that Velu hurriedly follows the girl. She helps him cross the road full of vehicles and lots of noises. Velu is very much afraid to see so many people around. He sees that there is so much noise and so much dust everywhere. His feet is burning with the coal tar, and because he is used to walk in the muddy road. Then they cross through many signboards which Velu is unable to read since he does not know English. Then after that also they cross through the central jail, and she warns him if he be caught, then he may be inside the bar. And then he takes him to a kind of mandapam or a small place where a marriage procession is going out. Velu first thinks that they will go inside and eat, but to his astonishment, she drags him to behind the building where all the leftovers or the dustbins are kept. From the dustbin, she picks up a banana and gives it to Velu. Velu is very much reluctant to have that banana from the garbage, but she insists that there is nothing that she can buy for him because she has no money and nor Velu has. So he has to eat that. Along with that, he also eats a Vedu. He feels better, but he is still hungry. Now he again tries to follow the girl because she's running away, and she finds that her name is Jaya. Now we'll move further. Jaya and Velu walked along the roads for half an hour until they came to a bridge across a dirty trickle of water. We are in Triplicane now. See, that's Buckingham Canal, said Jaya. Velu stared. This was a canal. Near some puddles of water was a row of the strangest huts he had ever seen. They were built out of all sorts of things: metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood, and plastic. They stood crookedly and looked as if they would fall any moment. Is there where you live? These houses are strange, said Velu. In our village, the houses are made of mud and palm leaves. Jaya went around to one of the huts and dumped her sack outside. Then she picked up an empty one. Let's go. She turned to Velu and gave him a shove. At least help me now. Hey, wear these and come with me. She threw him a pair of old shoes without laces and pushed a sack and a stick into his hands. Velu was confused. What work did she want him to do with these things? The only work he had ever done was on the landowner's farm, weeding and taking cows out to graze. Are there any farms in the city? He asked Jaya. She laughed and thumped her stick on the ground. Farms? There are no farmers here. We are rag pickers. Rag pickers? See my sack full of things I collected? Collected from where? Asked Velu. From rubbish bins. Where else? You collect rubbish? Velu had never heard of such a thing. Blockhead, it's not any rubbish, only paper, plastic, glass, such things. We sell it to Jam Bazaar, Jaggu. Velu was puzzled. He had heard of people throwing away rubbish, but why would anyone want to buy rubbish? Who's Jam Bazaar Jaggu? Why is he buying all this? You think he buys it for show? He sells it to a factory. Come on, I don't have time to waste like you. Velu did not move. He hadn't run away and come to this new place to dig through garbage bins. Jaya poked at him with her stick. Look here, she shouted. If someone gets there before us, we don't get anything. Don't just stand there posing. Big hero, I am trying to help you. Who filled your stomach today? Velu scratched his head and sighed. I'll do it for now, he thought, until I find a better job. Now we see that the girl, Jaya, takes Velu to her house, which is made up of metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood and plastic. Velu is very much astonished to see houses built in such a zigzag manner. He remembers his house, which is made up of mud and palm leaves. And she puts away. Now we see that the girl, Jaya, takes Velu to her house, which is made up of metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood and plastic. Velu is very much astonished to see houses built in such a zigzag manner. He remembers his house, which is made up of mud and palm leaves. And she puts away her sack and then picks up another which is empty. He gives one to Velu along with a stick and a pair of torn shoes. Now Velu is very much astonished and he cannot understand what kind of work does the girl do. He asks him about it. The girl replies, that she is a rat picker. He does not understand the terms. He only knows about the work that has to be done in the field, that is picking weeds or grazing cows. He has never heard about that word even. So she explains that she picks up things from the garbage. And Velu is very much astonished that why can anybody pick the things from the garbage? What will the people do with that? She tells him that she picks up the things that are made of plastics or metal or things like that, and she gives it to Jagu, who forward it to the some factory and somewhere else, the people who come to buy it from there, so that it can be reused. Now, since Velu is not so much keen to do such kind of work. He has not come to the city to do such kind of work, but he knows he has no other choice. So he decides to follow the girl, and he starts his new day with a new life. Now, children, hope you have understood the depth or the moral of the story. That is that we as a children and living in a society, we are so blessed that we are getting educated, we have got enough food, and we sometimes we do not care of such little things around us. We are kind of thankless. But from now on, I hope you people understand the kind of struggle people go through in their daily life to earn a one-day meal or even a one-time meal. They do not get meals for so many continuous days. They have no access to education. They have no good roof around above their head. They have no parents to pepper them, or even if they have them, they may be leading any kind of abusive life, and they have to struggle all through their lives. So people, this is the message from the story, Children at Work, and hope you all understand. Now you may do the question answers and the other things. If you are unable to understand anything, please let us know. We'll at your help. Thank you. Have a nice day.